Hello, friends. Miss Patterson here. I want to review two books that I've read recently. One is The Man Who Walked Between the Towers. Remember, this was a true story. I hope you listened to the video that I had done. This was when you were virtual a few weeks ago. This is a true story, even though it doesn't have photographs. So try to remember, what is the true story of a person's life called? Do you remember? Then I also read this one. Remember, the title was on the back, Martin's Big Words. This also was a true story. And then the first grade teachers read this, which they had read last year too. So either last year or this year, you heard this, Snowflake Bentley, true story. What are all these three types of books called? That's right, a biography, the true story of a real person's life. So we've been studying biographies, but I've also mentioned this to you, the Caldecott Award. This was a Caldecott winner in 2004, that one. This also won the Caldecott. You can see it there. Silver medal winner. And then Snowflake Bentley was also a Caldecott winner. Sometimes it's not that seal, like a sticker. Sometimes it's printed on the book. So that's another connection between all three of those books. The Caldecott is given for the best illustration, one gold medal winner per year. And then there are about 3, 4, 5 silver medal winners. Today's lesson is about the Caldecott. I'm going to show you several books who've won the Caldecott, and I'm going to read one to you. So as I'm showing you these, remember, it is given for illustration. The best or the most distinguished sets it apart. The illustration that is good, but then it is even set apart of all the good books. For the books that have been published in a year, 1 year, they're in the running the next year for the Caldecott. So they can't be in the competition every year, but when a new book comes out, they can be in the running for the Caldecott. So this is a Caldecott lesson. The reason I like to do it this time of the year is the 2021 Caldecott winner is coming out soon, maybe next week. They'll be announced. But here's one that won the Caldecott. You know this book, The Polar Express, and now it's been made into a movie. You know that. But I'm not going to read every book. I'm just going to remind you of what the illustrations look like. Chris Van Allsburg is the illustrator. Great pictures. He also won a second time for a different book. Jumanji. Did you know he was the same author? The man who wrote The Polar Express also wrote Jumanji. Now, you may be thinking, I've seen a Jumanji movie. But this is where it all started with the book. The book is not colorful. It's all black and white. That's that one. And I'm also not showing you every Caldecott because there's been a Caldecott winner for many, many decades. And there's one given every year, gold medal. What I'm focusing on are the gold medal winners right now. Some of the Caldecott books have beautiful pictures. This is Rapunzel by Paul O. Zielinski. These pictures are so beautiful. They look like they could be hanging in a museum. So they run from those that are beautiful and detailed to this book. It was a gold medal Caldecott winner. Very simple pictures. You may love this book because you probably read it in the first grade. You studied about Kevin Hinckus in first grade. Very simple illustrations. These are also black and white. Here's another one, and this is not black and white. These are very colorful. The Hello Goodbye Window. I love the way this book is illustrated. Bright and happy colors. It looks like some paint with a little bit of detail from a Sharpie. And I want to show you, there's a house. I love these. The illustrator. So it's an award given for illustration. So the illustrator is the one who did the work for the illustration. But the book is the one that wins. Look how they painted that night sky. Not black like we sometimes think of night. This is blue and purpley. And there's the Hello Goodbye window where they stand. Here's another one that has a lot of black and white. The House in the Night by Susan Swanson. It has black, white, and a little bit of yellow. Very pretty. Two more. I'm only going to show you two more, and then I'll read one winner. This is a very old book. So it has illustrations that look old, and sometimes it's fun to think, I wonder if this book would win now. If a book was illustrated this way now, would it win Caldecott? Maybe. And then one last one I want to show you. This is Not My Hat. You can see that gold medal. There are other awards, and let me show you this book, and then I'll show you. Just to see the difference in the illustrations. Like I said, there are way more books than this. I'll try to pull some more out in the library so that you can check some out maybe. Books can win more than one award. So there's more than just the Caldecott. If you look on this book, Martin's Big Words, it won 3 awards. So there are other awards out there. Now I'm going to read the story. And after the story, I'm going to tell you about one other person who has won the Caldecott. This book is called The Last Stop on Market Street, written by Matt De La Pena, pictures by Christian Robinson. I see a lady and a little boy at a bus stop. This would be the back cover. I like this illustration here because we see the whole bus when we look at front to back cover. What is this called? The spine. Okay, here they are again. Last Stop on Market Street. I see a building here. What does this look like? With the stained glass windows. CJ pushed through the church doors, skipped down the steps. The outside air smelled like freedom, but it also smelled like rain, which freckled CJ's shirt and dripped down his nose. So this is CJ, the little boy that we've seen already, and there's the lady that he was with. He ducked under his Nana's umbrella, so I guess that's his grandmother, saying, how come we gotta go wait for the bus in all this wet? Trees get thirsty too, his Nana told him. Don't you see that big one drinking through a straw? Does that look like a straw to you? CJ looked for a long time, but he never saw a straw. From the bus stop, he watched water pool on flower petals, watched rain patter against the windshield of a nearby car. His friend Colby climbed in and gave CJ a wave. Then Colby drove off with his dad. "How come we don't got a car?" CJ said. "Boy, what do we need a car for? We got a bus that breathes fire." That's a picture on the side of the bus. She said, "We got a bus that breathes fire and old Mr. Dennis, who always has a trick for you." The bus creaked to a stop in front of them. It sighed and sagged, and the door swung open. "What's that I see?" Mr. Dennis asked. He pulled a coin from behind CJ's ear and placed it in his palm. Nana laughed her deep laugh, and she pushed CJ along. They sat right up front. The man across the way was tuning a guitar. An old woman with curlers had butterflies in a jar. Nana gave everyone a great big smile and a good afternoon. She made sure CJ did the same thing. The bus lurched forward and stopped. Lurched forward and stopped. Nana hummed as she knit. "How come we always got to go here after church?" CJ said. "Miguel and Colby never have to go nowhere." Nana said, "I feel sorry for those boys. They'll never get a chance to meet Bobo or the sunglass man. And I hear Trixie got herself a brand new hat." CJ stared out the window, feeling sorry for himself. He watched cars zip by on either side. He watched a group of boys hop curbs on bikes. A man climbed aboard with a spotted dog. CJ gave up his seat. Now, this is the man that he gave his seat to. Do you know anything about that man? Dark glasses. He's got this cane that he holds and then a special dog. CJ said, "How come that man can't see?" So he is blind. The man is blind. "What do you know about seeing, boy?" Nana told him. "Some people watch the world with their ears." "That's a fact. Their noses, too," the man said, sniffing at the air. "That's a mighty fine perfume you're wearing today, ma'am." Nana squeezed the man's hand and laughed her deep laugh. Two older boys got on next. CJ watched as they moved on by and stood in back. "I sure wish I had one of those," he said. These device that they're listening to music on. Nana set down her knitting. "What for? You got the real live thing sitting across from you. Why don't you ask the man if he'll play us a song?" CJ didn't have to. The guitar player was already plucking strings and beginning to sing. "To feel the magic of music," the blind man whispered, "I like to close my eyes." Nana closed hers too. So did CJ and the spotted dog. And in the darkness, the rhythm lifted CJ out of the bus, out of the busy city. He saw sunset colors swirling over crashing waves. He saw a family of hawks slicing through the sky. He saw the old woman's butterflies dancing free in the light of the moon. CJ's chest grew full, and he was lost in the sound, and the sound gave him the feeling of The song ended and CJ opened his eyes. Everyone on the bus clapped, even the boys in the back. Nana glanced at the coin in CJ's palm. CJ dropped it in the man's hat. Sometimes street performers do that. They'll lay out their hat or their guitar case or something. And if you like someone's music, you can put some money in. Or if you just want to be nice. Last stop on Market Street, Mr. Dennis called. CJ looked around as he stepped off the bus. Crumbling sidewalks and broken down doors, graffiti tagged windows and boarded up stores. He reached for his Nana's hand. How come it's always so dirty over here? Now I want to stop just a minute and let you make a prediction. They rode the bus from church over to here. Do you think this is where they live? Or do you think they're going to visit someone? She smiled and pointed to the sky. Sometimes when you're surrounded by dirt, CJ, you're a better witness for what's beautiful. CJ saw the perfect rainbow arcing over their soup kitchen. Their soup kitchen. Do you know what a soup kitchen is? It's a place where people who are in need can go and get food. Maybe we don't know why they might need it. Maybe they're out of work. Maybe they've been sick, but people can go and get food. So their soup kitchen, I don't know. We'll have to read and see. He wondered how his Nana always found beautiful where he never even thought to look. He looked all around them again, at the bus rounding the corner out of sight and the broken street lamps lit up bright and the stray cat shadows moving across the wall. When he spotted their familiar faces in the window, he said, I'm glad we came. So this must be familiar people. Looks like there's a line. You think they're going to get food there? He thought his Nana might laugh her deep laugh, but she didn't. She patted him on the head and told him, me too, CJ. Now here's the whole page. Can you find CJ and Nana? It looks like this side of the table is a line that maybe kids would go through, like a cafeteria line. So these are people going through with trays. Yep, there's CJ and Nana right there. Are they getting food? No. Looks like they're helping to serve the food at the soup kitchen. Now there, we saw a lady with a hat on. Let me find her again. This red hat with a yellow flower. I see her right there. So they are friends with some of the people who come to get the food. And that's the end. They're waiting at the bus stop. So I guess they don't live in this neighborhood. They're waiting on the bus to take them back to the neighborhood where they started, where their church was. This neighborhood. One of the things that I love about this book is it is inspiring to me to go find some way that I can help others. CJ and his Nana did not have much. We know that they didn't have a car. They didn't have a device to listen to music on, but they still found a way that they could help other people. And it was by serving at the soup kitchen. So we all need to think about ways that we can help others. Maybe it's contributing to a collection or a drive, if there's a can collection, even if you can't bring much, maybe you could bring 1 or 2 cans. Before we finish, I want to show you one other man who has won the Caldecott 3 times. His name is David Wiesner. He won it for the 3 pigs, and he won it for Tuesday, and he won it for Flotsam, and it won a second award of some kind. But this book, Flotsam, if you win the Caldecott once, you are famous. You're going to be famous in the children's book world. To win it 3 times is huge. This is a wordless book, though, and I just want to show you what that means. That means there's no words in the book. You just have to look at the illustrations and try to figure out what's going on. So if that interests you, you'll have to check that out sometime.